Hello and welcome to the Pawn Pro podcast. Today we have one of our very own on here. Say hello to Vanessa Gray. Vanessa is our president of PawnMaster. And so, for maybe the people that don't know who you are, let's just kick things off with a little bit of your background and how you got to be so involved in this pawn industry of ours.
Okay, so a little bit about me. Before I came to the pawn industry, I had spent 15, 20 years in the technology and SaaS software business. From there, I became a multi-unit franchisee for a fast food chain. I had my own business, so really got experience putting my hands in every department across the business, operations, training, marketing. Um, Enjoyed that experience. Um, and at the end of the day, I ended up being recruited by Data Age approximately 10 years ago to come work and head up their finance team. I worked for Data Age and with the PawnMaster crew for 9 years before the acquisition. I served as their chief financial officer, and then I have been held numerous positions since the acquisition, working on Team Bravo here.
Yeah, I think that that's one of the things that's really been such a great fit is your experience being a small business owner and how relevant that is. I feel like, we talk to pawnbrokers all day long, and you can put yourself in their shoes. Like, you know what it's like to be the janitor and the marketer
Yes.
and responsible for everything. And not everybody has that perspective. And I think it's a really good one.
That's one of the things I try to emphasize with our support team for PawnMaster, right?
Mm.
Um, when they get a customer on the phone who is experiencing an issue, kind of being able to put themselves in the customer's shoes and understand that while they may be taking one ticket at a time, that customer, that pawnbroker has multiple customers standing in front of them. They don't know how many employees called off work that day,
Yeah.
whether or not they just got, notice of an audit coming due or what other stressors they may have. So the issue they may be experiencing with their software in that moment might be one tiny piece,
Yeah.
and they may be overreacting to the issue they're having, and to just understand how many stressors that a business owner has on a daily basis, and being able to show empathy, and maybe through that one support interaction turn around that pawnbroker's entire day.
Yeah, totally. Along with that, what has been your favorite part of working with pawn shop owners and operators in the 9 plus now 1 year that you've been serving them?
um, I think what I enjoy most is when I'm speaking with a customer, they are having a business issue, right? And it may not always be related to their software or
Yeah,
their interaction with us, right? But I'm able to provide an outside perspective, offer creative solutions.
yeah,
And, when they stop and they go, wow, I didn't think about that, right? I enjoy that. I've had customers email me days and weeks later going, oh my gosh, I just want you to know how helpful that was. That so solved my problem. And it could be completely outside the realm of their software experience. So I do enjoy that aspect of working with customers.
I think we're really lucky about having you in regard to that too. Like, you problem solve and bring new perspectives even within like our leadership team, or when we're talking about something, it's the same kind of ideas and like thoughtfulness that you give our customers that you also give to us internally. So I'm grateful for that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So it's been 1 year. We just celebrated. It feels like just celebrated. It's almost now been a year and 1 month, but we
Yes.
just crossed the year mark since the acquisition. Lots of feelings probably going into that. What was it about Bravo that made you excited about maybe the potential of the acquisition?
So I had a very unique perspective because
Mm-hmm.
as the CFO for Data Age, I got to work hand in hand with the Bravo team. pre-acquisition,
Right.
right? And being able to see and having that insight into the level of talent and dedication amongst the Bravo leadership team was was just an incredible experience and really helped solidify that partnering with Bravo was the right move to make, right? For our customers' sake, knowing that the the time and thoughtfulness that the Bravo team put into making every aspect of our customers' experience through this as easy as possible, right, was very reassuring and gave me a lot of hope for the future.
Yeah.
Um, in addition, right, getting being able to understand how Bravo operates, how they develop, and being able to see the path forward for our PawnMaster customers
Yeah.
was huge, right? We knew in the data age side, we knew that our customers needed better solutions for the future, right? They needed both single stores and multi-unit operations. They needed a real comprehensive reporting package,
Yeah.
not to be limited to, you know, KDX, which we had, but as our KDX users know, wasn't very stable. Limited reports that just came canned within the software. Knowing that they have that ability in Bravo to do custom reporting, that's huge. A real e-commerce engine, right? With lots of integration, functionality, that we had an MVP that gave minimal functionality,
Yeah.
but that they had real, true e-commerce that was going to continue to grow with them for the future. The ability to easily accept mobile payments,
Yeah.
the enhanced future functionality that they would have because they weren't limited to an on-premise product, right? To
Yeah.
just be able to know that our customers had an easy path forward that was going to provide all those solutions for them as their shops continue to grow. That was huge.
Yeah, I think for me, that was also what was most exciting was the potential, and both from the team's perspective and from customers' perspectives. Um, you know, acquisitions are always super confidential. Like it's a very tight circle that gets to know. It's very exciting. You're doing double, triple the amount of work within the same work day. Still doing your, 9 to 5 job, but then also working like super expanded hours. Um, and like most of my time was spent focused on integrating our teams because I knew that we really had to come together as a team really quickly. We had been competitors for so long. The sales teams like really were competing against each other all the time. And so we spent a ton of time making sure that as quickly to day one as possible, we got everybody kind of rolling in the same direction, and excited about the potential. And then from the customer perspective, I think we've always really, I guess, referred to ourselves as a development company. We're a product led company. And it gives us this outlook and vision, and being on sort of the latest and greatest technology gives us all of these reasons, I think, for PawnMaster customers to come over where there had been limitation before. And heading into the acquisition, obviously most of our customers had already come from PawnMaster. Like that's where we were pulling most of our customers from. It's a small enough industry. There's not a ton of competitors. So it's been really rewarding watching sort of the migration of customers that choose to come over to Bravo, and then start using the things that we believed in, that we knew were going to have the potential to help stores be maybe more organized or produce more revenue or whatever all of the things are that we believe that Bravo does that maybe was limitation. Like all of those are coming to fruition now. And I think that that's been really exciting.
Yeah. I love seeing feedback from customers once they've been on the Bravo platform for 2 or 3 months. They've got their feet under them. Um, you know, Being able to see that feedback it's just really it's joyful to get to
Yeah,
see how excited they are,
it is.
and you know and how they can now look back and see what they couldn't see 3 months ago.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's like it's one of those things where, and I tell people this all the time, like it's hard because I've seen it enough times that I believe it. But for maybe a store that's switching over that's never seen it, it's hard to believe it until you see it. But you've got to try
Yes.
to be able to see it. So it's like the chicken and the egg kind of thing. Um,
Mhm.
what excites you most about the future of Bravo and its potential within the pawn industry?
I think what excites me most is the amount of time, money, and resources
Mm,
that Bravo devotes to developing their products,
mm,
right?
yeah,
They are, I say they, we, right? But I work primarily with the PawnMaster customer base. But Bravo is so focused on truly developing and delivering the best product possible for this industry.
yeah. I think maybe that's something that's misunderstood a little bit as like the breadth of our development team and how much goes into development. And, um, I know that it's usually behind the scenes, right? We push a product live and like all you see is what happens within the product that we push. But like from inception of idea, which could come from customers or it could be visionary from ourselves or it could be something that like nobody's ever thought of before that we're trying to bring to the industry. Like our development team's our biggest department within Bravo, and it spans from everybody from like product specialists that help build out the UI and UX. We have obviously the coders. We have to write specs. We push everything into a testing environment where we go through extensive quality assurance. We have sometimes UAT, which is user accepted testing that our users will do. Like it's so extensive, and every release has dozens of new features that are available. Um, but often, I think the road from a customer suggestion to when we actually push something is an unknown. And I've tried to do a few like looms and videos on that because I'm really proud of it. I think our development team is like so stellar, and the product that we're able to release is stellar. And so, anywhere that I can shine a light on that and shine a light on the process, let me know how I can do that more because I think that that's always been the reason why customers come to us, and it's always been the reason why employees stay with us is because of product. So
Well,
I love
we have these company-wide all hands
that.
on product meetings
Yeah,
every month where they spend a solid hour and usually have to cut it short so
yeah,
everybody can get
yeah,
back to work. A solid hour just going through and demoing, the new feature functionality coming in that release. And when I sit in those meetings and I see what our development team manages to produce
yeah,
in just a 3 or 4 week cycle, I'm
yeah.
always astounded. So really hats off to the development team, the leadership there. They're kicking butt.
It's really hard not to spoil. Like I want like so many spoiler alerts because the roadmap this year is really awesome. There's a lot of things that just have never been done before in retail and specialty retail, let alone in pawn. So more on that in the coming weeks and months. I won't spoil everything, but this last all hands on product was like everybody was so excited. It's like we want to tell the world. It's really cool product. Um, so you mentioned that you have the PawnMaster support team sits under you. Um, Shout out on the support team. I mean, our customer satisfaction on that side is we get all of the live CSATs, and so the PawnMaster team just crushes cases, crushes tickets, and like all of the feedback is like really fast, really helpful, really thorough support from everybody on your team. So kudos.
Thank you. That team has worked really, really hard. As you know, an acquisition, a merging of teams, a changing of tools and technologies
Yeah.
being used, processes being followed. it's a lot. It's a
Yeah.
lot, right? If anybody understood, outside of the company, understood all of those changes that are getting implemented on, so quickly because Bravo moves fast as a company, right? Um, you know, there's always going to be some hiccups. You know, I started working with the PawnMaster support team back in November, and we really put number one focus on what is one of Bravo's core values, making the customers the heroes of our story, right?
Mhm.
When I first heard that, it really resonated with me because I want to always deliver an exceptional customer experience.
Mm-hmm.
We have focused, we have honed in. Um, they are running, and as of this morning, they have a 93% customer satisfaction score.
Yeah.
They are celebrating, for customers that maybe haven't called in recent months, to, see that change firsthand. These guys are rocking it.
Yeah.
You know, the average wait time is down by more than 50% in the last 3 months. Um, the percentage of tickets being, resolved in less than 1 hour from the time the call comes into the board was up like almost 25% last time I looked. So they are doing an amazing job and they are working hard for our customers.
Yes. One of the things that you spend probably a lot of time doing is talking to PawnMaster customers who are maybe thinking about maybe making the switch but are scared to do it.
Mhm.
What do you think some of the biggest concerns are that PawnMaster customers that you talk to that are like on the fence, they're thinking about switching? What are some of the kind of key concerns that you hear about?
There's really there's three main concerns I hear. They relate to the time it's going to take to learn a new system
Yeah.
or, go through the onboarding process, speed, right? You know, how fast they can handle transactions in Bravo, and whether or not Bravo is going to work with their business process X. And it doesn't matter what X is, right?
Yeah.
Um, those are the three concerns I hear most. And the message that I try to share with PawnMaster customers who are considering making the switch, I really try to address these three areas
Yeah.
just head on, right? One, there is nothing you can do post go live to make up for a lack of training before, right?
Yeah.
If you're doing this, both the owner and their employees need to be on the same page. They need to be dedicated. We're going
Yeah.
to do this. And if you're
Yeah.
going to do this, don't half-ass it. Do it all the way. Get in
Yeah.
there, do the training,
Yeah.
learn the system, right? There's nothing that's going to make you more successful post go live than putting in the time ahead of. The second thing is that different doesn't make it wrong.
Yeah.
Um, I This is a lesson I learned when I was a business owner myself, right? And is something is one of many lessons I've really carried forward. Um, just because something is different doesn't make it wrong. It doesn't make it bad. It doesn't make it less than, right? Um, Bravo has thousands of customers, just like PawnMaster. Bravo has thousands of customers using their software with successful business processes, running successful operations, right? Just because Bravo process may be a little different than what you're used to running your business process in conjunction with PawnMaster doesn't make it wrong. And I see customers wanting to throw the baby out with the bathwater, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
this doesn't work around my business process. Okay. So have you considered trying the Bravo way, right? We
Yeah.
have thousands of customers who swear by it,
Yeah.
including, like you said, thousands of customers that used to be PawnMaster
Yeah.
users,
Yeah.
right?
Totally. Yeah.
Um, just because it's different doesn't make it wrong or bad. It's just different. And sometimes different can be very good.
Yeah. I agree with that. I think different is scary, but it's
Yes.
also, if you were going to re-platform into a different software that was almost the same as what you were currently using, like why even go through with transitioning at all? I think that that's what makes this so interesting for pawn shops. And I think that that's why the ones that have decided to come over stay over and are like happy that they did it after their first 1 week of like pulling their hair out. Why did I do this? But after the first week, the difference, the different of Bravo, I think makes more sense. And, if you're going to go through training and you're going to go through replatforming, like you might as well try something different and see what it yields because the results and like the ROI is definitely worth it. And it's more than if you replatform to a similar platform system.
Yeah.
It's like the difference is the difference. Like that's where the difference of revenue comes from and customer experience for pawn shop customers. And that's where the difference lays is in the actual difference of the software. And so I agree with that. I mean, I'm celebrating 15 years at Bravo next month. And so I've heard this basically throughout the tenure of my entire career is that it's different. And I really try to embrace that part, especially as so many customers are transitioning over to Bravo. And it's just that first week. I think that's like really challenging in learning what the different means, how it can positively affect the business and getting everybody, all employees, like around that. The change management's really important. So,
And
um,
that's the third thing, Tally, that I was speaking about, which is speed, right?
yeah,
Um, I like to, draw the analogy to learning how to drive a stick when you've always driven an automatic, right?
yeah, yeah,
The first week you get behind the wheel of the new software, it's like learning to drive a stick. There's going to be
yeah,
stalls and you're going to sputter out and it's frustrating and it's stressful, right? But when you get to the other side
yeah,
and you learn how to maneuver, right?
yeah. You're
You're going to
faster.
be faster,
Yeah,
right? And that's what
totally.
I tell them. Just go in knowing that first week or two while you're learning to drive it, it's not going to be fun. It's going to be, there's going to be some learning curve there, right?
Yeah,
Um, but on the other side of that, right, when you're, doing 90 down the interstate, you're
yeah,
going, yeah, this was worth
yeah.
it.
That was worth it. Totally. I find that about actually most of Bravo's products. Like eBay is a good example. Customers are always like, "Is eBay worth it? Should I try it?" And I always tell people, and this is true. Like I've sold eBay to hundreds of customers, our API. I've never had somebody turn it off. Zero people, like zero
Yeah.
people have ever turned eBay and said, "You know what? This isn't worth it." And so I think that speaks a lot about our products that we put out. It's just that as a business owner and operator, you got to take the leap. You got to take the leap and try. But specifically for eBay, I'm like, just try it. Like, what's the worst that happens? You hate it, you turn it off, and people are like, oh yeah, that makes sense, and nobody turns it off. It's like it's a consistently growing product of ours month over month. So, um, all right, let's talk about Bravo maybe as a whole. What do you think, or what was your impression, or how do you feel about Bravo culture and our team after being kind of, all one team after a year?
I cannot speak highly enough about the Bravo team, right?
Mm-hmm.
The culture is incredible. They have such great talent. They believe in hiring the best,
Yeah,
right? Um, they don't accept mediocrity. Their dedication to working together to achieve the best outcomes for the customer
yeah,
is truly unique in
mm-hmm.
my career experience, right? Um, the cross departmental workings, the number of collaborative meetings, right?
Yeah,
Um, they truly believe in hiring the best and then bringing all of those ideas to the table. And if they don't feel that, the ideas are grand enough, right? They will bring in outside experts to help us
yeah,
launch the
yeah,
best. Um, the focus on their core values, including making the customer the hero of the story, transparency, um, customer feedback gets broadcast company wide.
yeah,
Every single person in the entire company sees when a customer leaves a review for our support team, when a customer leaves an NPS response and
yeah,
whatever feedback. whether good, bad, or ugly, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
they believe in letting everybody see that, and but additionally being transparent with the customers. So the culture and team, like I said, I just can't speak highly enough. Everybody is 100% sold on truly delivering the best.
Yeah. I love that. I think that's really nice to hear, and I'm grateful. We went from like what feels like 30 employees to 50 employees to 80 employees, and then after the acquisition, it was 130. And like as a leader of an organization that big, there's a lot of like learnings that I had to do quickly. Like, how do I communicate to a team this big? How do I make sure that the feedback is getting, from bottom to top and from top to bottom? Like, how are we communicating as a team? And it's still not 100%. Like, I still spend a lot of time thinking about how we do better cross department and how we do better on company wides and how we make the most of our very virtual team that we have in 2 countries and 20 states. And how do we make sure that the culture that we used to have in an office way back, however many years ago, pre-COVID in Vegas, how do we continue that culture as we onboard new employees who have never been in the office together? And now more of our team has been remote than has worked together. And I just like really think that that's such a key to our success. And again, we don't nail it every time. We have communication lapses, and sometimes it's like, oh man, we really missed on communicating that. But for the most part, I think we're all of the leaders within the company are like super intentional. And like Vanessa mentioned, we have a lot of meetings that are like cross functional. We try not to live in silos. We try, in leadership meetings, exec meetings, founders meetings, it's like take off your department hat. Like, take off your department hat and come here as a leader of the organization, not as a leader of the department. And I think that like we have such smart people. Not everybody needs to exist within their given, territory or department. So I love that, and that's really good feedback. Um, okay, last question. What are you looking most forward to in your role at Bravo in 2025 or just in general?
Most looking forward to would be continuing to help Bravo as a company improve so that we can provide customers with not only the best software experience, but also the best experience with Bravo personnel, whether
Yeah,
it is customer interactions with our billing department, our technical support
yeah,
teams, onboarding. It doesn't matter what a customer needs. I love contributing to helping design and implement, execute the best possible experiences for our customers. I love that Bravo never settles for the status quo
yeah.
and is always putting time and energy into how can we make it better?
So in addition to being the president of PawnMaster, we have a spoiler, I guess, and that is our entire finance team has been finally making this transition into a single ERP. And that is for anybody that's switched ERPs or has platformed into an ERP. This is like a Herculean effort for a finance and kind of operations team, and we're really excited about it. It's a single source for all of our customers, not siloed by, oh, we use this system for that platform and this system for the different platform. And I'm really excited for the customer experience that we're going to be able to offer when you call in and you talk to our customer success managers or somebody from our billing department, or you'll have a self-serve option where you can go in and you can log in and you can see your own invoices and things like that from our billing department. And this is just one area that we've heavily invested in over the last 12 months. It was a lot of planning, and it was a lot of obviously analyzing which platform was best for us. But this is another sort of Vanessa Gray baby within Bravo that is launched, and officially all of our customers, 4,000 plus, will be billing on a single platform come March 1st. So that is super exciting. And hopefully when you call into our billing department or our CSM team, you'll notice that we're able to get information for you quicker, and we're able to provide you better customer support within those departments.
Yeah, we especially as we've seen all of the customers making that move from PawnMaster over to Bravo, right? Having the two systems has created a little more work, right? Getting all the accounts shut down, the
Yeah.
contracts suspended, terminated in one system, getting them all set up in the other system. So this is going to allow accounting to be able to scale at
Yeah.
at the same rate that sales and onboarding are taking stores live left and right, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes accounting is scrambling to get everything moved over from one to the other, with all these moves that are happening. So it's also going, it's not just looking at getting that customer moved over, but making sure that the ancillary needs they have, whether communicating with billing,
Yeah.
can happen at the same speed. So
Exactly.
it's gonna be a great.
I'm super excited for that. Okay, well, we're way past time. This happens really quickly whenever I'm on these podcasts with Bravo people because I can talk to you forever. So we'll wrap it up. Thank you so much for jumping on, and yeah, I'm super excited for 2025. Lots to look forward to.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.